Stoicism teaches us that presenting ourselves with dignity is not about putting on a show or pretending to be someone we are not. It is about embodying genuine self-respect and earning the respect of others through our actions. In a world where words can be easily dismissed or forgotten, the silent power of Stoicism allows us to make a lasting impact without uttering a single word. By mastering the art of inner tranquility and nonverbal actions, we can transform not only how we see ourselves but also how the world sees us. Whether we aim to improve our personal relationships, enhance our professional demeanor, or find a deeper sense of peace in our daily lives, the practical and actionable strategies offered by Stoic principles promise profound results. If you've ever felt overlooked despite your best efforts, or if you're searching for a more authentic way to project your values and virtues, join us on this journey into the world of Stoicism. It may just revolutionize the way you navigate your world, and if you appreciate the insights we share, we kindly ask for a simple favor: hit the subscribe button to support our work. Let us embark on this transformative path together. Stoicism guides us towards an attitude that exudes tranquility, confidence, and self-assurance without the need for overtly proclaiming our own value. It is evident in the way we conduct ourselves in everyday interactions, such as walking into a room with poise and attentively listening to others. It encompasses a firm handshake and sincere eye contact, which convey our presence and accountability not only physically but also mentally and emotionally. However, Stoic dignity extends beyond mere physical appearance and social etiquette. It is deeply rooted in virtue. In Stoic philosophy, virtue entails aligning our actions with our moral values. It means embodying courage, discipline, and wisdom in both our private and public lives. When we choose to act with integrity, even in challenging situations where compromising our values may seem easier, we are practicing Stoic dignity. This could be as simple as admitting a mistake honestly, or as complex as advocating for someone else's rights when it is unpopular or risky to do so. Integrating this mindset into our daily lives involves making decisions that reflect our true selves and the individuals we aspire to become. It entails maintaining consistency in our values, regardless of the circumstances we encounter. This consistency sends a powerful message to those around us about our principles, and it establishes a foundation of trust and respect with peers, friends, and even adversaries, allowing us to live with dignity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our actions, responses, and values, and to let go of the distractions that surround us. It is not about adopting a facade of toughness or indifference. Rather, it is about cultivating genuine self-sufficiency that enables us to navigate the highs and lows of life with grace. Presenting ourselves with dignity involves recognizing our worth, valuing ourselves enough to live in accordance with our principles, and treating others with the same level of respect. It is the quiet confidence that arises not from external validation but from a steadfast dedication to one's ethical principles that defines Stoic dignity. This silent yet potent quality is both humble and profound, allowing one to truly understand their own value. Stoics emphasize that recognizing your intrinsic worth is not about counting achievements or collecting accolades. It is about acknowledging the inherent value you possess regardless of external validations. This fundamental idea is essential not only for nurturing self-esteem but also for cultivating genuine self-respect and leading a life in harmony with your core beliefs. When discussing the importance of knowing your worth, Stoicism encourages introspection. Figures like Epicurus and Marcus Aurelius often spoke about focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. True worth is demonstrated in how you uphold your integrity, fulfill your responsibilities, and contribute to your community in alignment with your principles. But how can you practically assess your worth in everyday life? It begins with self-examination. Take time to understand your strengths and weaknesses, as Stoicism does not preach perfection but rather progress. Reflect on how you handle challenges. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you rise to the occasion, learning and evolving with each obstacle? Your reactions in these moments reveal much about your character and value. Another Stoic practice involves engaging with others in a manner that reflects your self-respect. Stoics believe in sympathia, the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. By treating others with dignity and respect, you reinforce your own sense of worth. When you treat others as you wish to be treated, you affirm your values and showcase your worth through your actions. Moreover, Stoics prioritize the pursuit of virtuous living as a manifestation of their inherent worth. Within Stoicism, justice and moderation are regarded as the ultimate good, thus emphasizing the importance of striving for these virtues in all aspects of life, be it personal relationships or professional endeavors. By embodying virtuous behavior, one cultivates a strong sense of self that remains unshaken by the unpredictable nature of external circumstances. This understanding and acceptance of one's worth liberates individuals from seeking external validation. Consequently, the pursuit of recognition or the fear of criticism no longer hold power over them, as they recognize that their value is not contingent upon these external factors. This newfound liberation enables individuals to lead a life that authentically reflects their inner selves, allowing them to stand resolute in the face of adversity, confident in their worth, and steadfast in their chosen path. According to Stoic philosophy, recognizing one's worth involves aligning self-perception with the highest ideals and consistently living in accordance with those ideals. This journey necessitates honesty, courage, and continuous self-evaluation, yet it is immensely rewarding as individuals become more attuned to their intrinsic value. As a result, interactions and relationships become more meaningful and life becomes more fulfilling. Furthermore, practicing boundaries is a profound Stoic principle that extends beyond simply saying no to others. It entails a profound understanding of personal limits and respecting those boundaries as an expression of self-respect and respect for others. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-mastery, autonomy, and inner freedom, teaches that setting and enforcing boundaries is not merely a protective measure, but a way to live truthfully in accordance with one's values. In Stoicism, the focus often lies on our internal boundaries and how we establish limits for our behavior and thoughts to align with our virtues. For instance, Marcus Aurelius extensively wrote about maintaining a focused mind on what truly matters to avoid unnecessary distractions and emotional overreactions. He believed in controlling his reactions to external events, establishing a mental boundary that allows him to remain composed and principled regardless of the circumstances. However, how does this translate into our interactions with others? It begins with acknowledging that our energy and time are finite resources that require wise management. Just as a Stoic protects their thoughts from negativity and despair, we must also safeguard our time and energy from draining interactions and relationships. This entails learning to decline requests that conflict with our core duties and values, without feeling guilty for prioritizing our well-being. Setting boundaries can also involve safeguarding our emotional space. Stoics like Seneca stress the significance of surrounding ourselves with individuals who contribute to our growth and well-being. In contemporary terms, this means distancing ourselves from those who may lead us towards vice or distress. It could entail stepping back from toxic or excessively demanding relationships and instead choosing to spend time with those who uplift and support us. Additionally, setting boundaries requires clear communication. It entails expressing our needs and limits in a clear and respectful manner without resorting to aggression or passivity. This type of direct communication aligns with Stoic principles as it emphasizes truthfulness and straightforwardness, avoiding manipulation or passive-aggressive behaviors that can cloud our relationships and moral clarity. Ultimately, acting with boundaries teaches us a great deal about respect, both in giving and receiving it. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you impart to others your expectations for how you should be treated. This, in turn, fosters relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. The essence of Stoicism lies not in constructing barriers, but in knowing where your gates are, how they open, and who you permit to establish and maintain boundaries. It involves making deliberate choices that align with your highest self. This is an ongoing process that necessitates introspection, adaptation, and at times, the bravery to make difficult decisions. However, the tranquility and liberation that arise from living a life in accordance with Stoic principles, where you respect yourself and are respected by others, are undoubtedly worth the endeavor. This approach not only fortifies your personal integrity, but also deepens your relationships, enabling them to flourish on a foundation of mutual respect and genuine interaction. In the realm of Stoicism, limiting excess does not imply exclusivity or elitism. Rather, it signifies valuing your own time and mental space. This Stoic practice teaches us the significance of being discerning in our engagements and interactions, ensuring that our energy is invested in activities and relationships that genuinely benefit us and align with our values. It emphasizes quality over quantity in our connections and commitments. The concept of limiting excess begins with self-awareness. Stoics, such as Epicurus, stress the importance of comprehending what lies within our control and directing our efforts towards those aspects. This entails critically examining our lives and honestly evaluating what deserves our time and attention. Are we dedicating time to activities that nurture our souls and aid in our personal growth? Are there individuals in our lives encouraging us to live virtuously? Stoicism does not advocate for complete isolation from the world, but rather for tending to our own metaphorical gardens, diligently watering the plants that yield the finest fruits. In practical terms, limiting excess can involve establishing firm boundaries around our time. Choosing to prioritize your peace and well-being can involve various actions, such as refraining from checking emails or social media during specific hours of the day. Additionally, it may require saying no to social obligations that drain your energy instead of enriching it. By making these choices, you give more significance to the commitments you do make and ensure that your resources are not diluted by unproductive activities. This principle also extends to emotional and intellectual boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to maintain inner tranquility despite external events. By limiting access to our emotional world, we can preserve this peace. However, this does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. Rather, It means choosing not to engage in dramas or conflicts that disrupt our peace. It involves not allowing every external circumstance to affect our mood and mindset. Furthermore, by limiting excess, we cultivate a sense of respect and value for our own time and presence. Others begin to recognize that our time is valuable and our availability is a privilege, not an entitlement. This shift not only changes how others perceive us, but also how we perceive ourselves. It reinforces the Stoic belief in self-respect and living a purposeful life. Ultimately, limiting excess is about making conscious choices, investing our time and energy in ways that align with our values, and nurturing relationships that genuinely support and enrich us. This selective approach allows for deeper and more meaningful interactions, as opposed to a scattered strategy of superficial connections. It emphasizes cultivating depth rather than breadth in our lives, a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy that remains relevant throughout the ages. Additionally, it involves being prepared to walk away when necessary. The ability to walk away reflects the Stoic belief in self-sufficiency. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus emphasized the importance of finding contentment within ourselves and our moral choices. The concept is that one should never be so bound to a circumstance, a profession, or even a relationship that the fear of losing it immobilizes them or compromises their principles. Demonstrating the courage to walk away involves recognizing when a specific aspect of one's life no longer serves their higher purpose or aligns with their core values. Walking away is not an impulsive reaction, but a deliberate decision that stems from a clear understanding of what is and isn't beneficial for oneself. It entails establishing high standards for both personal and professional life. For instance, in relationships, it may entail having the strength to end a partnership that is detrimental or no longer contributes to mutual growth. Similarly, a job that hinders one's potential or requires compromising integrity is an exercise in self-respect and valuing the intrinsic worth of one's life and choices. It reinforces the notion that individuals are the ultimate authority over their lives and possess the power to select environments and relationships that foster growth, happiness, and virtue. It is about not settling for less than one deserves and not clinging to situations out of fear or comfort. Stoicism aids in framing the willingness to walk away not as a loss, but as a strategic gain that leads to greater freedom and authenticity. By being prepared to leave situations that do not benefit them, individuals open doors to opportunities that resonate better with their true selves. Additionally, it teaches resilience by emphasizing the transient nature of external circumstances and the enduring strength of a well-cultivated inner life. Embracing this philosophy allows individuals to assert a quiet confidence and a strong inner stability, knowing that no external change can fundamentally disrupt their peace of mind. It is not about being detached from the world, but rather being firmly attached to one's own principles and sense of self, enabling them to face changes and challenges with composure and dignity. This strategy not only results in a more satisfying life, but also garners admiration and respect from those who perceive you as someone who is not easily influenced by external circumstances or fears. According to Stoic philosophy, saying no is not merely a rejection, but a declaration of independence from desires and pressures that do not align with one's core values and virtues. It involves taking charge of one's life and choices, a key principle in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to be discerning about our commitments and engagements to ensure they are in line with our beliefs. Marcus Aurelius stressed the significance of acting in accordance with one's true self and reason, even if it means turning down requests or opportunities that do not contribute to our moral and personal development. The ability to say no demonstrates a dedication to integrity and the bravery to stand by your principles, even when it may be difficult or unpopular. This practice of refusal can manifest in various aspects of life, from everyday decisions to major life choices. It includes rejecting invitations that would divert us from our objectives, abstaining from behaviors that compromise our character, or distancing ourselves from toxic relationships and environments. Saying no is essentially an act of self-respect and self-preservation, enabling us to allocate our resources, time, energy, and focus to pursuits that are truly meaningful and fulfilling. Furthermore, the power of setting boundaries goes beyond personal gain. It also establishes a standard for how others should treat you. By firmly maintaining your boundaries, you educate others on how to interact with you and what you are willing to tolerate in your relationships and endeavors. This not only fosters relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, but also encourages others to consider their own boundaries and the importance of respecting them in Stoic philosophy. The ability to discern is a reflection of the dichotomy of control, a fundamental principle that distinguishes between what we can manage in our actions, reactions, and decisions and what we cannot influence in the actions, thoughts, and behaviors of others. By concentrating on our own decisions and resisting external influences, we preserve our peace of mind and freedom from distress. Embracing the power of saying no is liberating. It affirms your independence and is a crucial step towards leading an authentic life. It is not about being negative or uncooperative, but about being purposeful and selective, ensuring that every yes you offer is deliberate, meaningful, and in harmony with your true self. This is the core of Stoic living, not just enduring life as challenges, but navigating them with intentional and thoughtful choices. 7 healthy skepticisms are essential. This is not about questioning everything to the point of cynicism. Rather, it involves applying a discerning approach to the world around you, which Stoics believe leads to a deeper understanding and appreciation of life's intricacies. Stoicism, as advocated by philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus, teaches that our initial impressions or reactions to events are not always the most accurate or helpful. Instead, they advocate for a pause, a moment of reflection and inquiry before making a judgment or taking action. This practice is based on the belief that our rational minds can distinguish truth from falsehood, and by exercising this ability, we can lead more meaningful and less reactive lives. Integrating healthy skepticism into your daily routine means not automatically accepting every piece of information you encounter. It involves assessing the source, considering the context, and evaluating the evidence before forming an opinion. This is particularly relevant in an era dominated by instant information and frequent misinformation. Applying a Stoic perspective allows you to actively engage with information, ensuring that your beliefs align with your values. Healthy skepticism is essential in personal relationships, prompting you to delve deeper into others' intentions and actions rather than accepting things at face value. This approach fosters understanding and growth, cultivating traits like empathy and fairness. Stoicism views skepticism as a means to avoid disappointment by maintaining a balanced outlook on life past fluctuations. It is not about ignoring joy or pain but achieving a steady state of mind. By embracing healthy skepticism, you can make thoughtful decisions rooted in rational understanding, leading a more deliberate life. Avoid chasing external validation or approval, as this goes against Stoic principles. Stoics like Epictetus emphasized that inner peace is achieved by focusing on our own actions and upholding our virtue, regardless of external circumstances. By refraining from pursuing things beyond our control, we safeguard our inner tranquility and uphold our dignity. In daily life, this principle of not chasing can translate to not fixating on others' opinions of us, not bending over backwards to meet unreasonable demands, or not pursuing goals that do not align with our core values. It entails being content with the possibility of things not going as planned and trusting that by focusing on our actions and responses, we are remaining true to what truly matters. This Stoic philosophy also teaches us about detachment, not in terms of apathy or isolation, but in fostering a healthy distance from outcomes. It encourages us to fully engage with life while not becoming overly attached to specific results, thereby freeing ourselves from the emotional turmoil often associated with our expectations. For instance, in relationships, this could mean giving our best without clinging to a predetermined outcome. In our careers, it might involve working diligently without becoming overly fixated on recognition or promotions. The Stoic principle of not chasing underscores the importance of valuing our contributions over what we receive, finding peace in the process rather than fixating on the end result. This mindset does not diminish ambition or the pursuit of excellence, but rather redefines success in terms of personal integrity and the contentment that arises from living authentically. Ultimately, this approach leads to a life driven by internal fulfillment rather than external validation, as we act in alignment with our values and virtues. In Stoicism, the concept of unconditional love is intricately linked to the principles of acceptance and understanding. It emphasizes the idea that every individual, including ourselves, is an integral part of the natural order of the universe, each with unique strengths and weaknesses. This philosophy encourages us to approach others with empathy and compassion, acknowledging that, like us, they are also grappling with the complexities of life. Practicing unconditional love requires us to nurture qualities such as patience, tolerance, and a non-reactive attitude, especially in the face of anger or animosity. Implementing this form of love in our daily interactions entails maintaining a composed and affectionate demeanor even when others fail to reciprocate as we would wish. It entails making a commitment to treating others with kindness and respect, irrespective of their actions or circumstances, which can sometimes challenge our own emotional reactions. This does not mean condoning mistreatment or neglect. Rather, it involves responding to negativity from a place of understanding rather than reactivity. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us that our capacity to love unconditionally can serve as a source of personal resilience. By disconnecting our emotional well-being from the behaviors and reactions of others, we gain a greater sense of control over our own feelings. Detachment, in this context, does not imply apathy. Rather, it equips us to confront life as adversities with a steady and composed heart and mind, unaffected by external circumstances. Unconditional love also encompasses self-compassion, Stoics emphasize the significance of self-acceptance, embracing our own intricacies and contradictions with kindness and empathy. This self-directed love is crucial as it sets the tone for our interactions with others. When we can embrace and love ourselves unconditionally, we are better equipped to extend the same level of acceptance and love to those around us. Unconditional love in Stoicism is not merely a sentiment but a disciplined virtue that requires deliberate reflection, wise action, and a profound dedication to the collective welfare. It is essential to foster relationships that are built on genuine care and respect for others, rather than personal gain. This approach not only enhances our personal relationships, but also aligns with the Stoic objective of leading a harmonious and meaningful life. Rather than centering our lives solely around another person, Stoicism encourages us to prioritize personal virtue and inner tranquility. This means cultivating a life that is not overly reliant on the actions, feelings, or approval of others for our happiness and peace. In practical terms, this involves nurturing personal goals, interests, and pursuits outside of our relationships. While Stoics value social connections and the roles we play as friends, family members, or partners, they also emphasize the importance of maintaining personal autonomy and individual paths. This approach helps prevent the common pitfall of becoming too emotionally dependent on another person, which can lead to disappointment and distress if relationships change or challenges arise. Stoicism teaches us to diversify our sources of meaning and fulfillment, such as developing a career aligned with our values, engaging in challenging hobbies, cultivating a personal philosophy, or participating in community service that contributes to the greater good. Additionally, this Stoic principle involves establishing and maintaining boundaries that protect our time and emotional energy. It encourages us to say no to demands that compromise our ability to care for our own needs and personal growth. Ultimately, it is about respecting our own space and time as much as we respect others. This is not an act of selfishness, rather, it is a demonstration of profound self-respect that recognizes the importance of personal growth alongside the growth of one's relationships. Additionally, by not revolving one's entire life around another person, healthier dynamics are fostered within the relationships. Each individual brings their own strengths, interests, and perspectives to the table, enriching the relationship instead of relying on it as a crutch for personal insecurities or unmet needs. Striking a balance between togetherness and individuality is essential for any enduring and mutually supportive relationship. The Stoic wisdom of not allowing one's life to solely revolve around another person teaches us resilience. It prepares us to confront life as inevitable changes and challenges with a strong sense of self and a solid personal foundation. This self-directed love is crucial as it sets the tone for our interactions with others. When we can embrace and love ourselves unconditionally, we are better equipped to extend the same level of acceptance and love to those around us. Unconditional love in Stoicism is not merely a sentiment but a disciplined virtue that requires deliberate reflection, wise action, and a profound dedication to the collective welfare. It is essential to foster relationships that are built on genuine care and respect for others, rather than personal gain. This approach not only enhances our personal relationships, but also aligns with the Stoic objective of leading a harmonious and meaningful life. Rather than centering our lives solely around another person, Stoicism encourages us to prioritize personal virtue and inner tranquility. This means cultivating a life that is not overly reliant on the actions, feelings or approval of others for our happiness and peace. In practical terms, this involves nurturing personal goals, interests, and pursuits outside of our relationships. While Stoics value social connections and the roles we play as friends, family members, or partners, they also emphasize the importance of maintaining personal autonomy and individual paths. This approach helps prevent the common pitfall of becoming too emotionally dependent on another person, which can lead to disappointment and distress if relationships change or challenges arise. Stoicism teaches us to diversify our sources of meaning and fulfillment, such as developing a career aligned with our values, engaging in challenging hobbies, cultivating a personal philosophy, or participating in community service that contributes to the greater good. Additionally, this Stoic principle involves establishing and maintaining boundaries that protect our time and emotional energy. It encourages us to say no to demands that compromise our ability to care for our own needs and personal growth. Ultimately, it is about respecting our own space and time as much as we respect others. This is not an act of selfishness, rather, it is a demonstration of profound self-respect that recognizes the importance of personal growth alongside the growth of one's relationships. Additionally, by not revolving one's entire life around another person, healthier dynamics are fostered within the relationships. Each individual brings their own strengths, interests, and perspectives to the table, enriching the relationship instead of relying on it as a crutch for personal insecurities or unmet needs. Striking a balance between togetherness and individuality is essential for any enduring and mutually supportive relationship. The Stoic wisdom of not allowing one's life to solely revolve around another person teaches us resilience. It prepares us to confront life as inevitable changes and challenges with a strong sense of self and a solid personal foundation. There is a profound sense of tranquility that arises from knowing that our actions are in harmony with our convictions. This alignment reduces anxiety and enhances self-esteem, nurturing a calm and contented mind. The pursuit of virtue is an ongoing and evolving journey. It is not about attaining perfection, but about striving to become the best version of ourselves. It enriches our existence, strengthens our connections, and offers a reliable guide in a world that is often intricate and uncertain. Stoicism encourages us to view virtue not as an obligation, but as a pathway to personal freedom and fulfillment, a voyage that is as fulfilling as it is demanding. Remember, the road to virtue and inner peace is not paved with grand gestures, but with the quiet strength of everyday choices. Please adopt the principles we have discussed and allow them to lead you towards a life filled with meaning and serenity. As you have reached the end, kindly share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you are new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe. We look forward to seeing you soon.